Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is ADRINAH binti Muhammad Shahir and I'm from DBS4A. So today I'm going to present about inflation in Malaysia 2018 and 2019. So I will explain about the question A, analyze and comment the trend of inflation in Malaysia from 2018 to 2019. So this is the month's rate of inflation for Malaysia 2018. As we can see, in the scheme of trend inflation, January is a high rate from the other months, which is January 2.7%, February 1.4%, March 1.3%, April 1.4%, and May 1.3%. 1.8%, sorry. So start June to December, the rate was below than 1%. So as we can see, June 0.8%, July 0.9%, August 0.2%, September 0.3%, October 0.6%, November and December 0.2%. So the analyze and comment about the inflation 2018. The high rate inflation on that year, it was on January, which is 2.7%. It is because CPI, Consumer Price Index, in service and good was an increase and rise in price. So lower rate for the 2018, it was August, November and December, which is CPI on prices for transportation, clothes and footwear was declined and decreased about 0.2%. So next we go to the rate of start June. Why June to December start below 1%? It is because on that time our country have a new government and they has rated the goods and service tax, which is GST, and was dropped out start June to December 2018 below 1% for the first time and within 40 months. So this is the result when the government have a drop out the GST for the consumer okay. So next, lastly, the compare rate for the previous year and 2000 previous year, which is 2017, and 2000 compared to 2018, which is for 2017 the rate annually for year was 3.87%, and compared to 2018 the rate of year was decreased about 0.97%. So on 2017 the rate was higher because of the on that year our country have still using GST, and when GST was going, the inflation rate trend inflation of our country 2017, it was from the monthly to the December 2017, it was hugely higher compared to the 2018. So for the 2018 there was huge differences, which is the trend was low, start lowing in there was because of the new government, and the GST was dropped out from that year, which is 2018. So that's all from me. Next 2019 will be explained from my friend BALQIS. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is BALQIS binti Rahim. So right now I will share to you about the analysis and comment that the trends of inflation in Malaysia from 2019. Okay, as you can see, the trends of inflation in Malaysia 2019. You can see the rates of inflation in January 2019 has a decrease rate, which is negative 0.5, and then start from April 2019 the decrease between 0.1, and then start from June it decreased until 1.5 rate. So the analysis and comment. Okay, I think Malaysian economy is slowly recovering. The inflation rate is annual rate for increase of a price index. Normally the consumer price index is over time. Okay, and then the high inflation rate between June and August, they have a high rate which is 1.5%, and the low inflation rate is January with negative 0.5%. Okay, in 20 and then in 2019 the average inflation rate in Malaysian amount about 0.6% compared to the previous year. Okay, the consumer price, and then the consumer price index is increased on December 2019. After that, on monthly basis, CPI rise 0.2% as compared to December 2019. Okay, the increase was mainly supported by the index of food and non-alcoholic beverage, which is 0.5%, and restaurant and hotels, which is 0.2%. Okay, for CPI in the fourth quarter for 2019 is increased with 1.0% to 1 to 2.1 as compared to 1 to 0.9. Okay, in the same quarter for the previous year, on a quarter basis the CPI increased between 0.3% as compared to the third quarter of 2019. Next, I think the CPI of the year 2029 registered in an increase of 0.7% as compared to the last year.
Hi, I'm HAZILA. Now I will present about the question B. As you can see, the highest monthly inflation rate in 2018 is in January, and the rate is 2.7%. For 2019, the monthly highest inflation rate is in June and August, and it becomes equally at 1.5%. Now, I will present about the types of inflation in 2018 and 2019. As you can see, it's demand pull inflations. Demand pull inflation is largely the result of the level of aggregate demand being allowed to grow fast compared to what supply side capacity can meet. The result is excess demand for goods and services and pressure on businesses to raise prices in order to increase their profit margins. Demand pull inflations include consumption, government expenditure, investment, and net exports. And next is I will present about the reason for the increases in the rate of inflation in 2018 and 2019. First is 2018. The reason for the increases in the rate of inflation in 2018 it is because the uptick reflected higher prices for food and non-alcoholic beverages and transport, which more than offset wage growth in housing, water, and electricity charges, and a small dip in communication prices. The reason for the increasing rate of inflation rate in Malaysia because in June 2019, as you can see, the inflation rate has risen in month as the impact of last year with zero rating of goods and services takes place. Lower prices for transport were offset by higher prices for food and non-alcoholic beverages. In August 2019, the inflation climbs but remained mute. Higher prices for housing and fuel as well as health and education costs. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is SITI FATHIHAH. The question is what the initiative taken by the government in maintaining affordability of goods during festive seasons. As we know, control inflation got three methods, which is fiscal policy, monetary policy, and direct control policy. First, we go to the fiscal policy. The initiative that taken by the government in maintaining affordability during the festive season for fiscal policy is government reduce government spending and increase tax rates, can reduce the money supply in the market. Reducing government spending will decrease the aggregate expenditure, thus reducing aggregate demand. Increasing tax rates will reduce the purchasing power of consumer as well as reducing money supply in the market as when people pay more tax. Next, we go to the monetary policy. In terms of monetary policy, government has increased the interest rate of bond, or we call it as OPR. Adjusting interest rate to higher level will lead to lower price of government bond. Hence, public will buy more bonds rather than keep more money. Hence, government can reduce the supply of money in the market. Reducing money supply can increase the purchasing power money, which can reduce inflation. The last one, we go to the direct control. We focus on price control. Government can control the fluctuation of price of goods through price control policy, where government will implement price ceiling policy. Price ceiling policy is a policy where government will impose the maximum price that can be charged by the seller. The seller cannot sell the goods beyond the price set by the government. Hence, the consumer will able to afford the price to buy goods even when it has a higher demand. For example, when the demand of chicken during Raya festival is high, definitely the price will go up as the market price affected by demand and supply. Setting price ceiling will cause the price of goods below market equilibrium. This will lead to customer surplus is relatively higher while producer surplus is relatively low. Government will then subsidize the producer. Thank you. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum.